YouTube, Capital G here. Got some ABC action for you guys to check out. I believe we got two duels to show off, and they're going to be pretty drastically different. The first one's going to show you just a potential ceiling of what ABC can do turn one, and you don't need all these cards to actually pull it off. A lot of these combos are fairly simple. I actually saw them on another YouTube channel. I didn't know about them, and if I remember that channel, I'll shout them out, although they weren't really associated with this duel. And then the second duel is going to just be kind of all over the place with a hybrid ABC deck. I kind of feel like ABC, like players just kind of need to evolve with the archetype. I played against ABC many times, and I think that they have a super reliance on their field spell. I mean, I feel like if they terraforming and you ash it, a lot of times their turn ones are really bad, or if they summon a gadget and you effect Veiler them, I feel like their turns are really limited. So I feel like some of these plays will definitely help them out, and really running the Symphonic Warriors makes them just way better. These cards right here, Symphonic Warrior Mites and Guitars. Now, I hadn't actually seen this. This is a full-on pendulum summon of like 5 cards in fucking ABC. Like tell me you've seen that before and I'll call you a liar. I've never seen ABC pendulum summon 5, but I do believe that these two cards are cards that you should be running in ABC, as well as the heavy mech support armor. This is one that I believe pulls an ABC piece back from the graveyard. It's all related to like union monsters and whatnot. And you know, since the ABC pieces are not hard ones per turns, these cards allow you to go into Nightmare Goblin, which obviously gives ABC a level of stun that is significantly stronger than just having a Dragon Buster on the field. And it kind of means like if you're going second and you get Kaiju'd, you don't lose like your win condition, because ABC has always had a problem with you get Kaiju turn ones, like, oh man, I guess I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore because my Buster Dragon's gone and my ABC pieces are banished forever. I guess I'll just lose now. But now you also have the Griffin on board that can slow your opponent down, because their special summon monsters won't be able to activate unless they're linked up with another monster. Maybe they don't actually have that. So this kind of shows you a really strong turn one board where you're able to make Griffin, double ABC Buster Dragon, and a Nightmare Cerberus. Now, he doesn't have a hand, which is kind of unfortunate, you know, because he can't use the Buster Dragon effect other than tagging out. And when you do make 2 Buster Dragons turn 1, you cannot tag them both out, which kind of sucks. But in this matchup against Dark Magician, he didn't need to. And really, a lot of times you won't actually need to, because your Nightmare Griffin giving you the stun will kind of help you hold down your opponents. And you know what? I'm going to actually look for that video, the ABC combo tutorial, and I should be able to find it. I'll definitely have it linked in the description below, where you guys can see all of these really simple ABC combos, like 2-3 card combos. I will say, like, every single one of them involves Union Hanger though. If you don't hit Union Hanger, I believe ABC is really limited in what it can do. Now, this is ABC Orcus, which I don't know who thought to combine these two decks, but it's a thing now. And even though the turn 1 is not going to be very impressive, he's playing against an Infernoid build, which is kind of nice to see. Infernoids, don't see those very often, and Infernoids aren't known to be the most offensive deck in the first turn. Luckily, he's able to get another monster on board with the effect of the Sea Crush Wyvern, and he's actually going to go double Void Feast. I had never seen that before, because I know Void Feast locks you in the levels, right? I think it locks you in the level 8, so I never seen him, I guess, you know, resolve or I guess chain back to back, and it's pretty cool. He has a pretty disruptive board. He did send Devyani and Onoku to the graveyard, so he does have negation. Also, the like the Infernoid being DD Crows against ABC is kind of relevant, because your B might not get off if your opponent just banishes your pieces. Also, if your pieces don't get all banished, or if your pieces do get banished, then you're not going to summon the Buster Dragon to begin with, because you're not going to have the pieces in the graveyard. So that'll obviously help, or that'll obviously hurt them. He goes for Nightmare Cerberus, and he tries to, well, get a card, but that's actually going to put 1 card out. Now, what's cool is he does summon the Darkest Diablos, cannot be targeted, by the way. So that is actually going to be a little bit of a problem. Goes after his back row. I believe the back row is Burial from a Different Dimension, which obviously he wanted to hold, but, you know, that could have been really good in the later stages of the duel, getting back your Infernoids into the graveyard. And it looks like he's actually doing some decent summoning. Going to actually use, what was that, Verdant Sanctuary, I think. No, Fiend Sanctuary. Sorry, I think I got my sanctuaries mixed up. He does end up dropping Borosword Dragon and gets a huge direct attack, but 500 life points is still enough for your opponent to come back, so keep in mind Generally, it would be difficult. He has Steam to Cloak, gonna go for Onoku. Does decide, I'm just gonna go ahead and nuke the board. Cap G completely disrupts the board, or I guess really he nukes the board. And then he's able to summon the Blackwing Form Armor Master. Now, the thing about this card is, yes, I understand people will constantly say you can Boral Sword it, you can crash Borreload Dragon into it. However, if your opponent does not have access to this, this is one of the cards that will 100% beat like 90% of the meta decks because they don't really have good answers to this card. Keep in mind, it's unaffected by everything, guys, and it is 3,000 attack, and a lot of times you don't even have to summon it in attack mode. You can summon it in defense mode because it's 3,000. I played Salamangreats against Blackwings. Dude soul charged and made 2 of those, and I fucking couldn't kill him. I used my Borreload Dragon, but I couldn't kill the other one. I was just like, man, this card actually beat me. He got the Linkuriboh off board, whipped in, and Girsu effect, but the problem is he can't get over it. Now, look, I don't know why. Maybe he should have just crashed. Is there a reason he didn't crash Topologic Bomber Dragon into it? I mean, maybe he's thinking, Cap, I don't want to have no monster, but if you don't kill this thing, like, your opponent might just snatch steal it with the effect, because he can bait out the Gumblar effect. He goes for Steam to Cloak. That's going to make it activate. Now it has the wedge counter, and he can just snatch steal it. I mean, your monster is not unaffected by monster effects, and even though he is able to activate the Orcus effect to save himself, not to, you know, die. And actually, the fact that he attacked the corrupted Ibli, or the orchestrated nightmare, I believe. Yeah, the fact that he attacked her wasn't that consequential because she only has 100 attacks, so she didn't get burned to death. But the problem is, even if he kills the Topologic Bomber Dragon, he just cannot kill. Like, when the game state is disconsolidated, there's no way that you're going to be able to easily kill Armor Master when your Boral Sword Dragon is already gone. And I don't think a lot of people actually run Boral Sword and Borreload Dragon. I don't think people run both of them, but let's pause for one quick second and let's check out that ABC deck list. Okay, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. You know what? This is pretty much like the standard E of the standard. I don't really have any problems with this deck list at all. I think that, you know, if I was blindfolded, I probably could have built this, although maybe I wouldn't have guessed that silver and gold would have been at 3 each. I probably would have guessed that they would have been at 2 each. I know that it's becoming more standard that this Union support card is now being played in ABC. I think it's like, you know, just like a 1-0 because it's a good summon. It gets one of your pieces back from the graveyard. If this card is normal summon, you can target 1 Union monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So it's like a mini little kind of like Blackwing Blizzard, but it only works with the ABC pieces. Again, that's fine because ABC pieces, none of them are hard once returns in their effects. I think if you're going to go with 2 hand traps, like Droll might be the best one here because Droll just stops the decks from searching in general after the first search. Danger, Trickstar, and Sky Striker decks that do a whole bunch of searching. These, I believe, the Symphonic cards have been like standard because they allow you to do like some really good plays. And even when you have to discard, it's like you're discarding the ABC pieces anyways. And, you know, I personally had never seen a Pendulum summon of 5 in ABC, but I have seen people Pendulum summon 1 or 2 of the ABC pieces, so that's pretty good as well. I think Called by the Grave, as good as this card is, I don't think it's a staple. However, I do believe it's a staple in ABC because I don't think that, like, if you're terraforming or your Pot of Desires gets Ash, I have won many duels against ABC just off of that play alone. I think you have to be able to combat that. I think you can't afford to have your Buster Dragon getting hit with Ghost Ogre. That's like another card. The only thing that I really question in here is, I don't know, maybe Monster Reborn. Like, maybe Monster Reborn's good because you can bring back Buster Dragon, and that's kind of nice having a 1 card Buster Dragon in later turns of the duel. But everything else I think is actually pretty standard. Even your Torrential Tribute can be an amazing board wipe against your opponent when they overextend. And keep in mind, you can make your Buster Dragon, you know, unaffected by traps. Is it opponent's traps or just trap? I think it might be trap cards in general. You know what? Oh wait, I think it's opponent's traps. All right, I'm trolling. I was like, hold on, I know one of them makes it trap cards, so I think maybe that might be because you're going to tag your Buster Dragon out and the pieces are going to float. So disregard that last point about Torrential Tributes.